Hi, my name is Jessica Skolko, and I will be telling you about the IRI that I completed with a student in my class. The student I decided to work with is a fifth grade student in my class named Michael. Michael is a very quiet and unwilling student, very difficult to get moving and working in the classroom. He receives resource room twice a week in a 3-to-1 setting for 40 minutes each time. He comes from a very difficult home setting. His parents were recently divorced a few years ago, and mom did get remarried. He does live with mom and his stepdad and one of his sisters, but does visit frequently his dad and his other sister. His parents have seemed to lose faith in Michael's performance. They have told us quite a few times that they understand that he's going to struggle and he's not going to be a straight A student like his sister. But I do feel that Michael's inability to work harder underlies from his parents' faith in him, because he does know how his parents feel about him working. But choosing him to do the IRI was a very tough call, but it worked. And after completing it, it had given me a better feel of where Michael was struggling in the classroom, and I was able to identify that he was only on the fourth grade reading level, a very low fourth grade reading level. So the intervention plan that I implemented will focus on comprehension strategies, phonemic awareness, and phonics, and builds improvement in fluency and vocabulary skills. So in completing this intervention program, I won't only be able to work independently with him, but I'll also be able to do whole group setting, small group setting, partner work, and also do things in the home setting. So the first intervention I implemented was the use of response cards. This is a very simple way of using it, and you can give each student an independent whiteboard and a marker. So this way they could answer anything by just writing an answer and holding it up. By doing so, I can ask a question about a story that we read, and they can simply just respond to me by showing me their response card over their head. This will allow me to see which students are understanding it, or that if they're understanding the type of question I asked, if they're understanding what the story is about, the main ideas of the story. So with doing it this way, it doesn't single Michael out, and it allows me to see if he's fitting in with where the students, what the levels of the other students are. And it also, this activity helps me increase the opportunities for all students to be engaged in making active responses to my questions. So after we complete this, I can write down as we're going along which questions Michael was struggling with. And then I can go one step further with just him independently. So I can then go work on questioning and paraphrasing with Michael about that passage that we read. So the questioning text involves generating questions about the contents of the text before, during, and after reading. So this part, I took Michael independently to the side, and we went through the text together, identifying key aspects of the story, the main idea, the setting, the plot, the theme, things that he should understand and be able to identify on his own. As we went through that, made sure he had a good understanding, and then we went through the questions that he was answering incorrectly in the whole group setting of the response cards. From there, it gives me a good assessment of what Michael is understanding and what he isn't. So vocabulary is another one of Michael's big struggles. So I've decided to use a simple but effective method called semantic webs. So semantic webs are very simple. So if we were discussing the story and we wanted to see this setting, the main idea or the word goes in the center of the web. And then Michael would have to go around and identify different aspects that are in the setting of the story. Okay? This also gives me a good idea and could be used as an assessment to see if he's understanding what the setting, the plot of the story is. You can even just do a simple vocabulary word. And with doing semantic webs, I can not only focus on words that we are focusing on now in class, but I can go back and review old words with him at any point. This web can be used to describe characteristics and definitions of a concept or a word, whether he's struggling with it or not. And it's very simple for him. And as he's completing this, I can go further and get him into a deeper level of thinking by asking, well, what does this mean, Michael? And what do you mean by that? And how does that tie into what you're writing about here? And these should make him have a better understanding of what he's reading or defining in a vocabulary word. So besides the use of all of those strategies that I have just told you about, parent involvement is also a huge input to the IRI. And Michael's parents and I have been in touch, and we are trying to make sure that he is not only using these strategies in the classroom, but that they are working with him as well in the home setting. So I hope that all of these intervention programs and strategies will help you in your classroom with one of your students. Thank you.